Hi, my name is Jennifer Manili, and I am the founder of the Recovering Family, as well as the person that you would be working with if you decided that you wanted to kind of figure out how to get some help for yourself in this very trying time. I have been working with families, mostly parents. The parents I get are the ones that have the loved ones that have substance use issues and are just trying to figure out what to do. Now, most of the people that come to me, they don't know who I am. They've never talked to me before. And I get that is a really, really hard ask to talk to a perfect stranger about the most difficult situation that you have in your life that you will ever face, the most trying thing that you can go through, the most painful thing that you can go through. And you're wanting to talk to a stranger, that is a big ask. And I totally understand that. And yet, when it comes to these situations, we just simply can't get through them on our own. And it's much better to have someone who is very familiar with this work. I have been doing this type of work since 2018. I've been doing this for a long time. I have helped a large number of family members learn kind of how to get through this situation gracefully sometimes, but mostly so that the families don't end up losing themselves in the process. Now, I'm going to be very clear with expectations. I make no promises on outcomes in regards to your loved one. I know that most of the time, the family members that are coming to me are really coming to me because they want to learn how to control their loved one or talk their loved one into doing what they want them to do and living in the best way that they possibly can. It's like, how can I teach them how to live life? Here's what I'm going to say, and this is going to be really hard to hear. And this is just part of the deal. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm not here to beat around the bush. I am here to help you. And sometimes helping you is to have difficult conversations with you and telling you things that you don't necessarily want to hear. But I am going to say that your role as a parent, if you're a parent, is over. Your role as a parent is over. They are now grown adult kids, right? They're not kids anymore, and we treat them as such. And my role is to not teach you how to convince them of anything that they may or may not be ready for. That is really, truly up to them. And I know you've been searching for this answer and trying to find ways of getting them to see their problems and change their ways and do all of this. And it's just not working. And so you landed here in front of me. And you're like, maybe this is the person that's going to teach me how to do this. I'm not. I wish I was. I truly wish I could do that. I can't. What I can do, though, is rectify the decisions that you're going to have to make with yourself. At some point, you're going to have to figure out how to live with the decisions that is required, that is what it's going to take to start getting them to seeing their life for what it is. And yet, even once they see it, they still have to make that choice. And I am here to help you navigate the decisions that you're going to have to make, the challenges that you're going to have to face. And I can fill in the gaps and help you understand what is going on with your loved one that you may not be aware of because part of my background is one, I'm in recovery myself, which means I've been through this. I've done this work of what it takes to recover, what the mindset is, and it is not easy. And I think it's really important for the family members out there. And usually people don't understand what their loved one is going through when it comes to substance use. I get all the time that people are like, our family doesn't do this. We don't have a whole lot of drugs in the family. This is something very unfamiliar and very unfamiliar territories. And so finding a way through this and learning how to navigate and educate yourself on what they're experiencing and the tall order that we are asking them to go into, because I can teach you and educate you about what does the earlier stages of recovery look like. What does rehab do? What to look for in a rehab? Maybe you're not there in the rehab sense, maybe they're still out using, but we want to be prepared for when they are. And if they have stopped using, maybe they are in the early stages of recovery. It's good to familiarize yourself with what is happening, and I can help you because I've been there. I understand that. And understanding creates a level of communication that is different. And what we want to start doing is breaking patterns, right? We got to start breaking the patterns of whatever the dynamics are in your relationship, because by breaking patterns, things have to start changing. And when things start changing, things start changing. I can't guarantee what those changes are going to be, but what I will say is every single time that I work with a family, those changes are better because the loved one starts feeling heard. They start feeling like you're trying to understand them better. They start appreciating you more. The communication is better. But that doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes because the patterns are breaking, that initial pattern breaking actually creates a lot of dissonance, is what I'll say. A lot of frustration with the loved one because it's change, and change is messy in that beginning stages as we're implementing and integrating new strategies, new plans in place, and new ways of conversing. Your loved one is not necessarily going to understand what is happening at first, but they will over time by creating a new type of relationship, which is what you want. You want and you need a different relationship with your loved one. And that is what I'm here to offer. I'm not here to offer guarantees because no one can offer that. I wish, but I am here to offer a change in your relationship, and a change in the relationship, not only with them, but also with yourself, which is, I will argue, saying more important. The relationship that you have with yourself through this process is incredibly valuable and incredibly important. And it's so good to understand what that relationship with yourself needs to be. And that's what I'm here to do, is help you navigate through that. So, if that is something that you want to explore more of, please understand, again, like I said, this is not an overnight process. I'm going to be real with the expectations. The people that do the best are the ones that work with me long term, meaning 6 months to a year. I prefer a year because as human beings, that is how long it takes to really start implementing real change in these dynamics that have been going on for years and years and years. When you really think about that, how long these dynamics have been reinforced over time. A year is a very short period of time. So think about that when I'm saying it's better for people. And I'm not saying that it caps at a year. I'm saying that in order to start really seeing real change, that's about how long it really takes. And you may say to yourself, listen, I am not the one with the problem. Why am I having to go through all of this stuff and change all of my things when I'm not the one with the problem? You are not the one with the drug problem. You are not the one with the same problem that they have. That does not negate the challenges that you inherently are facing that are out of your control, that you did not sign up for. Just because you did not sign up for, it does not mean that you don't have to suffer through someone else's actions. That's not how life works. Every human being has to deal with things that are coming at them that are out of their control, that they didn't ask for. And then it's about how do we manage external factors in our lives to be the people that we need to be to deal with whatever is happening that we didn't sign up for. No, you didn't sign up for this. And yet you're forced into a situation, whether you like it or not, that you're going to have to learn how to manage. And I'm here to help you manage that situation that you didn't ask for, that these are not your problems, but that does not mean that there aren't challenges that you have to navigate and you have to figure out how to deal with. And isn't it better to figure out how to deal with something like this than just keep doing what you're doing, which is nothing at all, and keep getting things progressively worse and worse and you floundering and not knowing what to do? I get that that's frustrating. I truly do. I understand that it is frustrating to have to deal with situations that you didn't sign up for. But here we are, and we still have to learn how to do it. So that is what I'm here for. I really hope you consider working with me. I hope you consider working with me long term. We also have to learn how to build a relationship. You don't know me. You want to get to know me. This is part of the process, is learning how in in the beginning stages of what does our relationship look like? How to build that sense of trust with someone that you don't know. And I'm not going to push you beyond what you are capable and what you are ready for. So I really hope to talk to you soon. And I hope this was helpful to kind of understand what it is that I do and what I'm here to offer. So hope to talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your day.